Thought I was going to have to shut this video off. I'm not quite prepared. How's it going? Beanholes and frijoles. Okay, so got a few things to talk about today. Obviously, Big 12 channel. What are we doing if we're not talking about the games? Okay, Sue had 2 games last night. The title of this video is 2 Disappointments in the Big 12. Potentially good news for Texas. This is my opinion. Potentially good news for Texas because I'm struggling on whether or not I want to. In my mind, my opinion, my prediction is I think they're in the mix for the Big 12 title. It'll be tough for them because, you don't normally go from 5 wins to a Big 12 championship or contention. But, Texas went from 2. Baylor went from 2 wins to the title. So, stranger things have happened. They do have a lot of talent, but I still I really hold them down now. I had them as top 4, and then I took them out in the top 3 because they lost this kind of a really stud wide receiver. I believe he's transferred from Wyoming, whatever his name is. He's supposed to be like a beast. And you put that up against the other side of Bijan, Xavier Worthy. Then you got Bijan in the backfield. Clearly, they've got some NFL level talent there at skill positions, But okay, so they lost that transfer wide receiver, I believe. Sorry, I don't know who you are, man. It says what's the channel, but I think to answer your question right here, this channel, I think I would have to exit out of here, so can't answer your question. Sorry. Back to where I was at. Not only did they lose this superstar wide receiver, I think he's injured for the year. They also lost the last thing they could afford to lose, another offensive lineman. So now they're already gonna have to throw in another freshman to this offensive line, which to me, this is my opinion, is their greatest weakness. Although people will say, well, their defense was horrible last year. That's got to improve for them to really have a shot. So why do I say that this helps Texas? Well, because Oklahoma State played Central Michigan, and I'll be honest with you. I do work and everything, and do this as a hobby. I will not make a living out of this. I don't want a dime from any one of y'all. Not going to happen. If y'all send me money, I'm going to flat out buy stuff. That's all I'm going to do, just for this. But don't send me any money. Flat out don't want it. I don't care about that. Ooh, what a sexy shirt. Just saying. Okay, so Oklahoma State played Central Michigan, and they just flipped the switch last year and said, we're going to be a defensive team now, and it worked. I don't recall that happening too often, especially without a head coaching change. But it worked for them, and they had an amazing year last year with a good quarterback, but Spencer Sanders' kryptonite is these guys right here. He had 11 interceptions last year. I want to say maybe 12 after their bowl game. So out of 11 interceptions, 7 of them were against Baylor. Okay. But, they beat us once, and then we beat them the second time. Formidable opponent, clearly. We won that Big 12 title game by just magic. That was a movie ending right there. It's the reverse ending of the longest yard. We kept them out of the end zone on 4th down. Amazing. But if their bread and butter is defense, like I was told it was supposed to be, even though they lost Jim Broyles, I'm sorry, I forget his last name. He took off to Ohio State. So they replaced him with a guy that they really like. Everybody says it's a good hire. But if they give up 44 points to Central Michigan, y'all are not going back to the Big 12 title game. That is my opinion. I don't think you can talk me out of it, but things can change too. But you give up 44 to a team like that, that's damn near losing. You won by 14, but come on, this is the Big 12. If we shouldn't be entertaining any hopes of an upset with Central Michigan. Not in my opinion. I think they're gone. I think it's now Baylor and Oklahoma and Texas with a slight shot, because they don't have to worry about Oklahoma State anymore, in my opinion. But, Texas is so Heckle and Jive. Dr. Heckle and Mr. Hyde. I don't know what Heckle and Jive is. I can't talk today. And I haven't even started drinking yet. It could possibly be that crack I smoked earlier. I'm not sure. But I digress. Okay. So those are my feelings on Oklahoma State. By the way, full disclosure, I mentioned that, hey, I work. This is a hobby. I'm not going to make a living out of it. The reason why I brought that up is because I kind of had a little snafu last night. I didn't even realize Oklahoma State was playing last night. My bad. I heard a lot about the backyard brawl, so I knew about Pitt in West Virginia. I knew about that one. I literally thought it was our only Big 12 game last night. My bad. Didn't watch the game. Can't watch every game anyway, but I would have tried if I could. Although my cable was out, I didn't even get to watch the Pitt West Virginia game. I just know the results. And so off Oklahoma State. Now I want to discuss West Virginia. Are you kidding me? That was fucking hilarious. Everything's all in fun, my dudes and my dudettes. But you lost. I mean, y'all kind of. I mean, and that was so hard for me to predict. Like, they got to be better with JT Daniels, West Virginia. Pitt has to be not as good because they lost a superstar wide receiver to USC and Kenny Pickett to the NFL, who's now with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I thought, well, that's probably just too much to overcome, even though it was at home in Pitt. No, I watched. Some of y'all know Golden Blue Dude, otherwise known as AKA Chris Petrie. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Good friend of this Facebook page. This is, this YouTube channel is sort of attached to the Big 12 Facebook page. We'll figure it out. I'm playing by ear if you can't tell. Anyway, I watched his video about it and he was going off on the receivers. Like I said, I could not watch the game, but it was like a drop, another drop, another drop, another drop, another drop that turned into a pick six that sealed the game. Sounds like that's what happened. So those are my two big disappointments. That's how I feel about our first two games. One was a win, one was a loss. Both of them, to me, are losses. We'll see. And believe me, y'all got all year to talk shit to me. If Baylor stumbles, and that's completely plausible. Absolutely is. I think there's somewhere around 1, 2, or 3 losses this year. It's my personal opinion. We'll get there when we get there, but just a quick little preview of Baylor versus Albany. That's my team. That's who I know the best. Albany has never fainted. To the best of my knowledge, if I heard this correctly earlier, Albany, the University of Albany, has never faced any opponent ranked as high as we are. And this is one of Baylor's worst opponents that we've ever faced. We're going to hurt them. And just a little bit more insight to what I feel. Okay, so, they're a lower level school. That's who they are. No big deal. But you know how you get that big lead and then you take out the starters and then, you're still kind of scoring on them and you take out those guys and you put in their backups. And there's a problem here. Our backups on our defensive line are far superior to their starting offensive line. We're going to hurt them. Y'all are going to see, I believe, and I'm going to see it in person tomorrow night, a dominant defensive performance. And that's going to be our bread and butter. although our offense will be improved, but it'll be different. I won't go too much into that because there's a couple other things that I wanted to discuss here. So I want you to understand something. This is absolutely on a serious note. I know how I like to kind of uh, reel y'all in and act super serious and then tell a stupid joke. This is actually a little on the serious side, okay? So bear with me. Some of you will not care. Some of you will love this. Some of you will leave the group as soon as I say this, okay? So I don't want, personally, in the world, on TV, on another YouTube channel, here, I don't want politics and sports intermingled. I don't. I flat out cannot stand watching ESPN. We could talk about that in another video, maybe, but no. I don't even want to. Like, I'm just not going to. Not for the sake of doing it. Some people do it for the sake of doing it. Like, oh, they're going to get more subscribers. They're going to get more likes. They can. These videos can be monetized, and that's not why I'm doing this. By the way, I'm not. We have to have a whole lot of subscribers and all that, and that's not what I'm interested in. I'm just here to speak my mind as a hobby. We're going to kind of grow as a group, I hope. Hello, whoever this one viewer is. I hope you've hit the like and subscribe if you don't mind. That would sort of help out the channel. But thank you for watching. This might be the first person to get out of here as soon as I say this. Okay, so I do not want politics and sports intermingled. But I'm not going to be silent either. I will not bow down like a little bitch, period. I will speak my mind. I'm not here to try to annoy you and beat it down your throat. This is happening. This is what I feel. Fuck that. And by the way, my apologies. I don't intend for these to be kid friendly because I do cuss. It is what it is. So I talked about ESPN. I can't stand it. There's another sports channel here on YouTube that I watch a lot because they give me some insight and some stuff I didn't know was going on. I'm like, oh, that's kind of scary stuff. But if it's sports related, they're going to cover it. If it talks about race or COVID or anything basically political, not trashing other athletes usually. Most of the time, no. It's mostly a political, but always sports related. So they'll talk about, bad things that owners and leagues and players are doing and agents, blah, 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 all the time. That's all their videos. 95% of their videos are that. And maybe the other 5% are just kind of trashing guys who make some really bad decisions, DUIs, shit of that nature. I've been holding this the whole freaking time. I think I might want to taste it. So I lost our viewer. Either I'm boring this person or like, oh shit, I know how Marshall thinks politically, and I ain't here for that. All right, so fine, here or there or there or there, somewhere there's a get the hell out button. Now, I'm not saying that be mean, but if this ain't for you, goodbye. Sorry. You can have your own channel. I'm not saying this to be ugly. I'm really not. It's either for you or it doesn't concern you or you're completely against it. If you're completely against it, I wish you well. Okay? Point blank and period. But, okay, so I brought up ESPN, the difference between them. I do not like watching them and won't. I mentioned, okay, so this YouTube channel, their name is Black and White Sports Network, but that's all they talk about is, always political. But it's okay. I enjoy it. Well, not all the time. Sports is a release. It's supposed to be. A movie is supposed to be a release. Reading a book, a hobby. This, to me, is a release. I needed something to occupy a little bit of my time as well, So, so I don't want to sit there and watch only black and white sports network all the time. I need different perspectives too. You know what I mean? And sometimes, for the love of God, I just want to hear the game, about stats and players. You know, I know y'all are the same way. I know y'all get so tired of hearing politics this and fighting, 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 fighting. I think it's all bullshit, quite honestly. But now it's forced its way into every single walk of life. And once it crept into sports, well, that's when my ears perked up. Like, why are y'all talking stupid? Why are y'all lying? Why this? Why that? I'm not going into details. You either know what I'm saying or you don't. Here's my point. ESPN will always take every opportunity to talk about it. Racism, racism, racism. Blows. Oh my God, that blows my fucking mind. I'm going to talk about that in a second, but and then the other option for me is a Black and White Sports Network, and there's millions of other options, but they both just talk about it too much. So what I plan on doing is I want it organically. If something comes up in the Big 12 uh, about sports, because y'all who have followed this page for years, the Facebook page, know that I will talk about the Cowboys, Mavericks, and NFL, everything, pretty much everything about hockey and tennis and stuff like that. So I Big 12 central. I don't know the word I'm looking for here, but also other sports. There's no problem talking about other sports. And as Big 12 fans have gotten to know each other and laugh and joke and fuck around with each other, we also have learned, oh, well, this guy likes the Yankees. I'm going to talk shit about the Yankees, just to get under the skin, to have some fun, playfully. But fuck the Yankees anyway. So I'll talk about it organically, if that makes sense. And hopefully y'all can appreciate that, because I will beat y'all down with my opinion when it comes to all the political stuff going on. See, I didn't cuss there, and I wanted to. But organically, I'm going to give you a good example. I'm going to do that right now. So this is not Big 12 related, but it's something that is clearly sports related, and I have a problem with it. I absolutely have a problem with it. So, and I pray to God that I'm right about this, because I don't know the situation. I'm just hearing. I've heard from the girl. I've heard other people talk about it, and I formulated an opinion on it because it feels to me a little too common here lately, and I don't like it. And I hope to God I'm right. If I'm going to insinuate that this girl is lying, and it later comes out that she was telling the truth, I promise you I'm going to feel bad about that. But I don't think I'm wrong. Kind of like that one. All right, so teaser over. Okay, I don't even know the girl's name. There's a black volleyball player that plays for Duke University, and she was playing in Utah, playing against BYU in a game, and says that she heard a derogatory racial slur. I'm assuming the N word. Nobody said what word was said, but what else? I mean, if it wasn't the N word, then probably I don't know. I'm just assuming it was that. I'm about to sit there and say something and then get accused of it. Blah blah blah. Problem is apparently nobody else heard it, and here's why I'm calling it bullshit. So if I'm wrong, my God, I'm sorry, but I don't fucking think I am. Do you know why I say that? You know why I think she's lying? Because we don't stand for that shit. We are not a fucking racist country. And fuck you if you think we are, because you're wrong. We're the least racist country, maybe definitely in the world right now. I would say I've traveled some of the world, So I'm not gonna lie. I'll tell you this much: the only countries that would be without racism are people that don't allow other races in that country, which is kind of racist. But anyway, so what I'm saying that we as Americans, and I don't care what color you are, we don't stand for that shit anymore. It was stupid then, and we fought a fucking war to end slavery. Sorry, Democrats, but you lost again when y'all tried to do the redlining to keep black people out of owning homes and everything. Bye bye, Democrats. We defeated you then too. When y'all wanted to segregate whites and blacks and Asians and Mexicans, we voted you out of office, Democrats. Fuck you. And you still haven't learned your lesson. So that's as far as I want to go. You know which way I'm leaning. But let me explain myself a little bit better than that. Because I always get accused of being a conservative, a Republican, and all that stuff. No, I'm just pissed at our fucking politicians right now. And, forgive the F-bombs. I will not always be like this. But I want you to understand, I said that I would talk about this later. And it's about racism, why it boils my fucking blood. I have fought against it my entire fucking life. It's just who I was born as. It made no fucking sense to me growing up. And, so I grew up in Texas. So of course, I'm not saying it doesn't fucking exist. I'm saying I fucking fought it when I saw it. Well, I fought with my family over this. I fought at my church in front of it about this. I fought in the military over this. I have fought at not every job I've had, because not every job has had racists, but every job that did have them, I stood up for myself and stood up for what I believe that I know is fucking right. So when you want to call me a racist because of the color of my skin, you're going to lose that fucking battle. And I have some friends that you wouldn't want to say that in front of. Most of my friends are very decent people. But I got friends in low places. That's not a fair nothing, but I'm telling you, you would really piss some of my friends off. They know me. And if you think I'm lying, I don't know what to tell you. But I guarantee if you know my friends, my family, my loved ones, they will tell you who I am. And I fought against my entire life. So I don't fucking like the race hustle. I don't like the race baiting. That's all you fucking hear on TV anymore is white supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy. I'm going to take this a step further. And I'm going to get back to another subject and in the video, because I'm not trying to bore you with my political leanings and what I feel. It's just, to me, this is all just propaganda. It's a little too convenient that all of a sudden this world has gone completely haywire. Did you notice I didn't say America? You might want to check out some other things going on in the world. Let me give you a perfect example. So maybe this is a hot button topic, and I don't mean it to be. I don't care. But you know how Trump gets blamed for everything. Oh, we're going to get him this time. Oh, we impeached him. Oh, we're going to get him this time. Oh, he did this. Oh, he did blah, blah, blah. Who gives a shit? He didn't. I mean, it doesn't matter what I think, what you think. That's just my point. I'm just saying that he gets blamed for being the super racist. Oh, you're racist if you vote for him. That's fucking stupid. It's just fucking stupid. He's in the right party to prove that he's not racist. Just my opinion. I know someone will get triggered over this over the course of time when they happen across this video, but here we are. I know eventually this page will get taken down because I speak the truth. I've seen it happen, so don't tell me I'm lying. Oh, no, you're making that. I've seen it happen over and over and over, and it's always one-sided. That scares the shit out of me. To me, this is propaganda. I've never been afraid of a human being in my life, but for the safety and security of my kids and grandkids, yes, this does scare me. So I will speak my fucking mind. Not a brag at all. But I did serve my country 4 or 5 years. I meant it, and I promise you that oath has not expired. I will stand up for what is right. I will tell the truth, and if you want to hear it, cool. If you don't, cool. Um, but yeah, when I said I'll take it a step further, um, I did say just there's no other explanation that makes sense to me other than propaganda. That's a scary thing. I'm going to leave it at that because I could go so much further, and it's just not necessary. You know, it's truly not. So I did say I was going to change the subject, and I think I really kind of covered all the sports things I want to do. No, I guess I'll just change the subject to this. Give me a sec. Okay, so I'm completely planning on this being organic. I hope y'all can appreciate that. We're going on 26 minutes here. I don't plan on every video being like this. Most of my videos that I've done on Facebook that y'all have seen can take quite a bit of time to plan out, whether y'all realize that or not. That's how I can kind of get up here and just kind of rattle up things and almost no emotion, and I do it on purpose to kind of. Who would that remind me of? I'm not calling myself a great comedian or nothing like that, but it just reminds me of deadpan. Just deadpan. Instead of comparing myself to another comedian or something, I try to be kind of deadpan just to throw you off. Because I'm so freaking hilarious. But anyway, back to my point. I'm liking this one. Organically, I'll talk about things if it comes up, and I hope I never have to. But I know eventually something else stupid is going to happen, and something else stupid is going to happen, and it's just the way everything is going right now. So when politics are brought into, especially the Big 12, I'm going to fucking nail it. Well, I won't try to go on and on about it, but I'll at least spout my opinion. Like, for instance, I won't get into it too much, but the Cale Gundy thing. The reason why I think that's bullshit is because the players said, "Oh no, we don't care." Well, if the players don't fucking care, why even mention it? Just for what? Was that a virtue signal for Oklahoma State? Um, duh. Sorry, Oklahoma. Sorry, he was coach for Oklahoma. Mike Gundy was his brother at Oklahoma State, the head coach, obviously. Yeah, that's BS to me. The guy spent how long there? You give up that long of your life devoted to a school. You think you'd earn a little bit of tenure and respect and love, and if you're there that long, they must have fucking liked what you were doing. But no, we got to fire him, and then the statements don't even match up. So it makes me kind of not like Brent Venables if he really is lying about this, because their stories aren't matching up. It's like he says he said it one time, and then say, oh no, he said it many, many, many times. You already let the guy go. You couldn't let him say he said it once, it was a mistake, and he regrets it, blah, 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 even though the players didn't care, from what I hear. If some of them cared, okay, fine. But he was reading song lyrics off some guy's iPad. And that's about all. I'll get into that. That's why I didn't really like the situation. It just feels like, oh, great. Here's another opportunity to talk about how racist everybody is. In my opinion, and this will be kind of where I'll leave this at, I think the more we fight, the less we pay attention to our government. I do believe this is on purpose, but let that go. Probably some of you already, if you plan on staying here, and you're completely against what I'm saying, you're like, oh, he's crazy. I don't give a fuck. I'm crazy about my country. You're damn sure right about that. And I hope that all of you, when you thank a veteran, don't think of me, obviously. Uh, think of my grandfather. Think of all of these people that sacrificed their lives for us to have freedom. And now I just watch, and little by little by little, you can't say this, you can't say that. You're called transphobic, homophobic, racist. You're called this, called that, and it's all bullshit. And it's just meant to make us fight with each other. That's my opinion. I don't see any other way. You might want to check out Venezuela, Cuba, Hong Kong, and Taiwan. Maybe Taiwan's a bad example, but they're apparently going to get taken over by China. But this is how socialism, Marxism, and communism eventually happen. So yeah, there's my big secret. That's kind of what I think we're in the middle of, and we better pray that our U.S. Constitution holds up, because if America goes down, the world is fucked. We're at the mercy of a lot of communism. Both Russia and China. In my opinion, it's already gone to Venezuela. So that's where I'm coming from. I speak, I type vaguely on my personal page. Y'all know I don't talk. I try my best not to ever touch politics in the Facebook sports page. But on my personal page, yeah, I'm all for that. Absolutely. I will say whatever I want. And I've been, booted a couple of times off of Facebook and fact checked, which I haven't seen one fact check that's ever turned out to be true. And, especially now with the COVID and the FDA, well, now they're admitting it just took them 2 years, and, a half destroyed economy and lives lost and children not being able to learn people's faces, which is so important to them. It pisses me off. To me, is all a game, and we're talking about something that clearly just had to be created in a lab. But anyway, I don't need to go on about that. I'm just kind of bearing my soul a little bit on who I am, since I don't feel like I did a good enough job of explaining in an introductory video exactly how this would play out. I don't want y'all to be worried like, oh God, it's going to be politics all the time. It'll be as little as possible, but I'll speak my mind every once in a while, and hopefully it's just so far and few between. Hopefully. How many times am I going to talk this damn thing out? Last thing I'll say is, I had an ex ask me, because I had told her that, ever since it's popped up, it started with the COVID. It's the first time I'm like, what? Well, how come some people can talk about it and some people can't? Doctors, scientists, why can't they speak? That's when I started calling bullshit. So anyway, ever since then, I would just get so angry and so mad about, just propaganda. Like, that's a fucking lie, man. They're just lying to us. And I would get so wrapped up in it, and I'd hate politics, but it was just crammed down our throats. And I'd always told myself, oh, that's it. I'm starting a YouTube channel. I'm going to speak my mind. So anyway, when I told my ex that, she asked, okay, well, what's your angle going to be? What's going to differentiate you from others? And I couldn't on the spot give a good answer. But it's just basically this. It's going to be my personality. It'll be another voice that kind of stands up for what is right, not what I think is right, but what's right. Common decency. Respect others. Turn off your damn TV and love your neighbor. Do you know how many problems that would solve? So you're not going to believe this. I talked it out again. All right, so I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, okay. So that would have been my better answer to her in that moment. Would be, it's just gonna be my personality, my jokes, my thought processes, my personality, and another voice to let people know, speak up. If you if you can, if it's going to cost you your job, I'm not going to sit there and tell you, oh well, you gotta speak up, or you're a bad person. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying I don't care. I don't fucking care. My country and my family are more important than what people call me, what some people will label me and think of me as. I don't fucking care. I'm different that way. I just don't. No. One of my sayings is the only thing that is important is what's important. And our country and the way things are going is the most important thing in our world, in the world, for everybody. Like I said, if America goes down, we're everybody is gonna see a lot of bad things. I'll leave it at that. So I kind of feel like I talked about everything. You'll have to let me know. I've watched a couple of my videos previously. I always try to do that to see if I need to improve on anything, if I need to do things better. And I've noticed that my audio is not perfect yet. So if I have to go out and purchase a mic or something, I feel like that's the way I'm going to lean. Whenever I feel the urge to do something on my phone, maybe that'll play out better, because my Facebook's live videos have always had pretty good audio quality. And I talked about in the introductory video, explaining myself and introducing myself to others who might learn about the page and get to it. Is that my passion for sports, and that's why I want to do this. I need a little bit of time to escape from stuff and do this as a little hobby. Healthy mind and all that. And also, a little more background that I forgot to include in that was one of the reasons why this is a hobby. Forget about all the politics that I just talked about. Sorry if I bored you with that. But also have a heartburn. Also have a sort of a mini passion a little bit about sports journalism. Not that I plan on doing anything with it other than this. And I took it in high school. I took a class for 2 years, Trojan TV. My high school was the University Trojans, so we had this daily news broadcast throughout the school. Hey, this is happening, blah blah blah. And I was an anchor, whatever you want to call me, an on-air personality, whatever the correct term is. I was a student back then, obviously. Adding to that, I got to interview J.J. Joe. He was starting quarterback of the Baylor Bears at that time, back when I was in high school. Most of you won't know J.J. Joe unless you're a Baylor fan, is my opinion. But I'm just explaining a little bit about why I'm doing this. It has nothing to do with ego at all. I'm not trying to be famous. I don't care. I'm not going to beat y'all down and say, oh my God, please help me and like and subscribe and share and all that stuff. But, here at the beginning, I will ask a little bit every now and then. Hey, kind of help me out. I think we're at 11 subscribers right now. I want to grow that up some. I would like for 25, 50% of our Facebook group to kind of join in on here, and instead of being able to watch my live videos on Facebook, just kind of come do it over here. So that's up to y'all. And it's not going to be this serious of subjects all the time. I promise you it's not. For those of you who know me from the Facebook sports group, Big 12 Sports and Smack, a friendship group, I go out of my way to do little comedy skits, sort of, if that's what you want to call it. So, I plan on having some fun here and talking smack with y'all and having some fun with that. That's who I am. That's what I have to say. Of course, I've talked this out again. And you know what we do? Sick of bitches.